Help me get to reach 1,000 subscribers before we get into the story. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me share more real, raw emotional journeys like this one. When Daniel first said it, I actually laughed. Not a cute laugh, a sharp, dismissive one. Seriously? I scoffed. You're jealous of Ethan? He's my best friend. You're being ridiculous. Daniel's jaw tightened, but he didn't argue. He just nodded slowly, slipping into a quiet that made me realize my words landed much deeper than I intended. Later, I told my sister, Daniel's overreacting. He thinks Ethan is somehow a threat. It's childish. She agreed and I felt validated. Why wouldn't I? Ethan had been in my life for years, through breakups, job problems, everything. Even when Daniel and I first started dating, Ethan was the one person I could talk to without filtering myself. What I didn't notice or refused to see was how it all looked from the outside. Ethan texted constantly. I always replied immediately, sometimes even during dinner with my husband. I laughed at Ethan's jokes while Daniel watched me fade further away. There were inside jokes Daniel wasn't a part of. Hugs that lingered. Conversations that stopped the moment Daniel walked into the room. I kept telling myself it was harmless. But deep down, I knew it wasn't as innocent as I pretended. A few weeks later, Daniel tried again. Sophie, he said quietly one night, do you understand what this feels like? It's like you're giving parts of yourself to Ethan, parts that should belong to us. I rolled my eyes. You're overreacting. He's just a friend. Stop trying to control who I talk to. Something in Daniel shifted that night. I saw it, but I didn't take it seriously. I thought I'd won. I had no idea the game had only just begun. Over the next month, Daniel changed, slowly, subtly, painfully. He stopped asking where I was going. Stopped waiting up for me. Stopped noticing the things he used to notice. At first, I called it progress. Finally, he wasn't obsessing. But the truth? The silence felt colder than any argument we'd ever had. Meanwhile, Ethan remained the same, calling, texting, inviting me out. And I leaned into it, almost despite Daniel. I laughed louder. Stayed out later. Shared more secrets. But the more I did, the colder my marriage became. Dinners were silent. Nights ended with him turning away from me in bed. Then one Friday night, I came home from being out with Ethan and found Daniel sitting in the living room, with a suitcase. My heart dropped. What are you doing? I whispered. He looked at me, not angry, not sad, just indifferent. I can't do this anymore, Sophie, he said calmly. I told you how this made me feel. You mocked me. I'm not begging for respect in my own marriage. I panicked. Wait, you're leaving me over Ethan? Seriously? Daniel took a slow breath. It's not about Ethan. It's about you. You made me the outsider in my own marriage. And I'm done. The floor seemed to disappear under me. I always believed Daniel would never leave. That no matter how far I pushed him, he'd stay. But the man standing in front of me had already left emotionally long before he packed that suitcase. Daniel, please, I cried, reaching for him. I'll stop seeing Ethan. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. He gently pulled his hand away. You don't understand, he said softly. You didn't just mock me, you dismissed me. My feelings meant nothing to you. You laughed while I was drowning. His words shattered something inside me. For the first time, I saw myself through his eyes. Every ignored question. Every sarcastic jab. Every time I chose Ethan's validation over my husband's trust. This wasn't about insecurity. It was emotional betrayal. Please, I whispered. We can fix this. He shook his head. I gave you years, Sophie. Years of trying to be seen. But you only saw a jealous husband. I finally see myself now, and I deserve better. Then he picked up his suitcase and walked out the door. The silence left behind was suffocating. I collapsed onto the couch, replaying every moment I brushed him off, every laugh at his expense, every time I made him feel like a stranger in his own home. My phone buzzed, Ethan's name lighting up the screen. For the first time, I didn't care. None of Ethan's attention mattered anymore. Not compared to what I had just lost. I always believed Daniel would stay. But I was wrong. I pushed him away piece by piece, and when he finally walked out, he didn't look back. That night, I realized, far too late, that the man I dismissed as jealous was the only one who truly loved me.